And if we come back to the British universities, and we come back again to what's been happening in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine, what we're seeing now is, and again, this is something I'm interested to hear your views on. When I went to university in the 80s, the university was a place of free speech, and we had all sorts of people demonstrating about all sorts of things. There was a very healthy debate, very strong political societies and things like that. I get the sense now, and you may know more about this than me, that there's a very homogenous view now in universities. You have to believe in certain things, and if you don't believe in certain things, then you're expelled from the university, or you're not allowed to be involved in it. And they've changed from being what I would call a very free speech driven, a very libertarian and open environment, to a very kind of almost not insular, but a kind of very oppressive environment. That if you don't say the right things, you are out of favour. And my son, who's just left university, he told me he was at Newcastle University. He said the environment was very much like that. If you didn't have certain views about certain things, you know, it was actually frowned upon, and you were excluded from certain, you know, a lot of situations. I mean, is that your kind of understanding of what's happened in British universities?
It is.
It might be a sweeping statement. That
Yeah. Luckily for me, I didn't go to university. I had a place in my late teens, and I went travelling around the world, came back and said to myself, what the hell am I going to university for? I don't know what I want to do, so I never went, which is probably a blessing. The big mistake that happened to universities is because they changed in, was it the 1990s? They went from being an institute of academia to a business. So before, they didn't care about upsetting students, because we're here to seek the truth. We're here for knowledge. We're here to better mankind. That was their driving force. Suddenly, with £9,000 courses, they became businesses. So professors, all the departments are going, oh, my wages are going up, my pension's looking better, as long as we keep all these students coming in. And we don't want to lose students, where before we would fail a student in the first year, second year, and kick them out because you're taking the Michael here and you're not working hard and you're going to ruin our reputation if we give you a degree, you're out. Now that person is a blanket swept around them. It's like, oh, you're failing, we'll help you, because all we want is you here for another year because you're worth £9,000. So now we've got a friend, a joint friend called the EDI Jester.
Yes.
Barry Wall.
I meant to mention Barry before, because
he said something once that's always stuck with me. He said, the problem with universities, in the olden days, so pre-90s, he said, the product of a university was the student. That's what universities produce. They produce educated people. They produce the student. Now, the student has become the customer, and everything revolves around that. So, you know, hence why we have safe spaces, trigger warnings, because you run a business. You want your customers to be happy. You don't even care to a certain extent if your customers are right or wrong, because they're the customer. And as long as you want to keep taking that contract off them, then unless it damages your business, but you'll keep that customer happy, even when you know what you're doing for them is a load of rubbish. You'll do it because they're paying you to do this. That's what's happened to the university sector. So students now have far too much power. We've got far too many university courses that are absolutely worthless, completely worthless. And we've set the whole scheme up now like a Ponzi scheme. We're getting 50% of people now going to university. The degrees, the value of degrees are going down and down and down and down. As an employer myself, it was a decade ago, I stopped looking at degrees on applications because I realised a degree tells me nothing anymore now. I've hired people with degrees who can't even write English, who have no communication skills, who can't think. It's like, and you've got a degree? So now I've stopped looking at degrees because it tells me nothing. Where 50 years ago, getting a degree in any subject told an employer, you're this intelligent. You've got quite a lot of competency skills. You might not know anything about that business, but you proved you can learn to a high level. That was the purpose of a degree. That's all gone now. Universities are going to collapse. Because we're building up debt, and 85% of students who go to university never pay off the loan. 85%. So
Yeah.
who picks up that bill?
Yeah.
Me and you.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
I'm not even been. Don't know why I'm paying for it. But taxpayer pays the bill. There was a report out last week in the paper. I can't remember the figures now, but there were so many businesses in the UK saying from this year, we're not asking for workers now to have a degree in these fields
Yeah.
because they're worthless.
And I think what I do now, more so, I mean, I do still look at the degree and I'm interested in professional qualifications like chartered accountancy or legal qualifications or things like that, where I know there's a level of integrity. I do look at the degree if it's from certain universities, less so now, but what we are doing a lot more of is psychometric testing. So we actually test their skills with an objective then it tests numerical skills, literacy skills, all those things to quite a depth. And you get quite a good vision there of an individual's kind of basic integrity and academic ability. And they're quite accurate.
Well, 40 years ago, you didn't have to do that.
No.
You just relied on the degree.
If it was, if it was a 2-1 from one of the Russell universities in one of the more academic degrees, be more than happy with that, or Oxford and Cambridge. But I think even now, Oxford and Cambridge, that perception is shifting.
They are devaluing. Oxford and Cambridge are devaluing. You see some of the courses, some of the people who are coming out of there. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.